Former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina has thrown her hat in the Republican nominating ring, making her the first female Republican to declare for 2016, and one of only a few female Republicans to actually ever run for the presidency. She joins a short list with people like Michelle Bachmann and Elizabeth Dole. Now, she put up a video of her announcement. Let's watch a little segment of that.
I'm getting ready to do something too. I'm running for president.
Our founders never intended us to have a professional political class. They believed that citizens and leaders needed to step forward. We know the only way to reimagine our government is to reimagine who is leading it. I'm Carly Fiorina, and I'm running for president. If you're tired of the sound bites, the vitriol, the pettiness, the egos, the corruption, if you believe that it's time to declare the end of identity politics, if you believe that it's time to declare the end of lowered expectations, if you believe that it's time for citizens to stand up to the political class and say enough, then join us, because we can do this together.
Okay, I'm going to say
That's
something.
cute.
Yeah, something entirely unfair. So let me preface it with that. I believe that if there are lizard people, she's among them.
Yeah, there was something otherworldly about her.
Wasn't that? Okay, so I didn't imagine that.
Like, her eyes lacked the normal human depth, I think.
Yeah. I was reminded of V. I don't know why. Like, it popped into my head. You remember the old TV show V?
No.
Where the aliens come and they're lizard people, and then she took out the mask. It's a lizard.
No.
Okay, now, I don't actually believe there are lizard people. She's not among them.
If you believe that a lizard person can become president, join us.
Together we can do it.
Creepy.
Okay, now, putting aside the goofiness, when you get to the real record of Carly Fiorina, it doesn't necessarily get that much better.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, she has no real political background. She did run back in 2010. She wanted to take out Barbara Boxer, so we have to rely mostly on what we know about her business record. Now, as I mentioned, she was the CEO of Hewlett-Packard during an admittedly difficult time for that company. Under her tenure, they undertook a number of very questionable moves, like taking over Compaq. And then there were a lot of firings. Like, I've seen numbers from 18,000 people lost their jobs to 30,000. And while she was firing people and attempting to make Hewlett-Packard sustainable long-term, she was also shipping a number of jobs overseas. Now, that was sort of the trend, I guess, back then and today as well. But a lot of people, I think, can justifiably be angry about her record or her real lack of record in terms of business success. That has been extremely lucrative for her, in which she did not, in many cases, listen to the shareholders of Hewlett-Packard, in fact, going directly against what they had voted to accomplish. And I know that you have a particular bone to pick with her about her performance as well, right?
Yeah, look, the layoffs are terrible, but in business, sometimes there are layoffs. I understand that. Now, it's a different thing to run on that, like I'm such a great accomplished business person.
Like Mitt Romney did.
Right, like exactly like Mitt Romney did, and how'd that turn out for him? Like, I'm so proud of how great I am with the layoffs and stuff, but I get it, it happens, right? And it's not unique to Carly Fiorina or Hewlett-Packard. And did a lot of people outsource jobs at that time? A lot of CEOs, absolutely.
Yeah.
But she was eventually kicked out of Hewlett-Packard for poor performance. So now if you're going to tell us that you deserve to be president, you have no political experience, but it's okay, you did a great job at Hewlett-Packard, and in essence you were asked to leave Hewlett-Packard, well, that's a bigger issue, right? I mean, it's not like you're this legendary business person. It's not like you founded the company. Like Elon Musk is one of the very, very few people who have founded two different companies that have gone over $1 billion in valuation. In fact, he might be the only one in the country. So if he were to run, he might have other issues we might not agree with, but you say, that's a good businessman. He might have laid people off, I don't know, right?
He's taking way too long to come out with the Model X. Just, come on, get it going, man.
And I want the Hyperloop more than I want either one of those things.
Seriously.
But you could at least say that's obviously a great businessman. She was an executive and one that was asked to leave the building. It's really not that great a track record.
I don't know what her record is. I mean, when she points to business, she's going to say, I saved a lot of money by firing Americans. That doesn't seem very popular. She has no real military. The closest she's come to the military is a golden parachute. I don't know what exactly she is running on at this point, other than, as many people are pointing out, the hope on the Republican side is that she will nullify the female advantage of Hillary Clinton and make it more difficult for Hillary to run on oh, look at how goddamn sexist the other side is if she's running against a Republican female. That is a strategy that I have seen articulated.
Yeah, and so there's some great irony there, because her main claim to fame is that she was the only CEO in a Fortune 50 company that was a female. She's the only woman CEO there among the top 50. Well, okay, I thought the Republicans said it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, and all that should be irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yet here she is turning off Hillary Clinton, right, and saying, now here's a real woman running for president who you should back. It seems like her main go-to move is, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. Yeah. And it's interesting because she announced today, Ben Carson announced today, which is a bad idea for them to share the spotlight. Terrible idea.
Yeah.
It almost seems like someone goaded them to get into the race so they could say, look, we got a woman, we got a black guy.
Yeah.
Look,
What a week.
You see that? I mean, neither one of them has any chance of winning.
No, there's some value to them both announcing on the same day. If they combined in polls, they'd crack 6%. That's impressive.
But the messaging on this day is, look at how inclusive the Republican Party is. Now, these two aren't going to win, but we got a woman running and we got a black guy running, so it's okay. We're not racist, we're not sexist.
We're going to throw all sorts of minority groups into the volcano and then vote for an old white man. That's basically what they're saying. Now, really fast, just because you might be wondering, where does she stand on the issues? We don't really know in a lot of cases because she doesn't have a political record to run on, but based on some of her past comments, I can say that she largely opposes abortion, but does not favor a personhood amendment. She voted against Prop 8 and believed that Prop 8 is totally awesome and the government shouldn't get involved in legalizing same-sex marriage. She believes that climate change is a serious issue on the one hand, but doesn't think that the science leads us to, doesn't mean that we should now do anything about it. And she once said that Barbara Boxer's concern about climate change was ridiculous because why is she so worried about the weather or something like that?
Yeah.
And so look, when it comes to politics, she seems like a bit of a goofball. She might not be as hardcore right-wing as some of the other people running, but she doesn't have much of a record there either.
Okay, just imagine if you took out the word climate change and put in the word ISIS. I think ISIS is a very serious and real issue, and I think we should do nothing about it.
Yes.
Okay, you would immediately be escorted from the building as she was at Hewlett-Packard.
But kicked out with her golden parachute.
Right, $21 million, by the way. Wouldn't you like to have a job where you get fired and somebody gives you $21 million for firing you?
Yeah.
Okay,
if I get fired, I want $21.
Done, deal.
Okay.
Hey,
a raise.
So that's how these CEOs work, and that's the world that they live in. So that's why they always think they're right. They're like, what do you mean? Last time I got fired, I got $21 million. I must be right about everything.
Yeah. It must be weird to live in a world where your failure is so much better than my success. But that's the way it works.
I know. And we didn't show you in the video, but at the end of the video, she took out a live mouse and ate it.